34 past the hour on Capitol Hill, President Biden is facing a range of reactions to the administration's decision to hold back some weapons shipments to Israel, including pressure from some top Democratic lawmakers. Joining us now is one of those lawmakers, Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time. I always appreciate it. I know that you just put out a statement regarding the president's stance. You say you, quote, worry that public discourse could embolden Hamas and that President Biden should clarify his stance publicly and the U.S. and Israel should resolve this miscommunication privately. What are your concerns and what is that miscommunication? I think the president was pretty clear in his statement that he did not want to send armaments that could be used in Rafah.
Well, Jose, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with you about this. I'm proud that President Biden has been ironclad supportive of Israel during and in the aftermath of October 7th. He's made sure that we stood steadfastly by our ally, fought hard to make sure we got the national security supplemental that provided $14.3 billion to Israel through, in spite of Republican obstacles, multiple Republican obstacles. But what I think we have here is a problem of imprecision in the communication from the president. What he said the other day left the impression that, from my conversations with the White House in the last couple of days, were not quite the way it came across. The president has said that, and the White House is communicating to Israel that the 2,000-pound, 500-pound dumb bombs, the ones that land and, result in widespread impact, that those are not appropriate for the engagement and involvement that Israel plans in Rafah. And then they've also been looking for and have yet to receive a plan for evacuating civilians and making sure that they can provide civilians with as much safety as possible. That communication really should be done with Israel side by side, like we have the ability to do every single day because of our close relationship, more in private. We shouldn't be having this debate publicly because we have a close enough relationship with Israel to have these kinds of conversations behind closed doors.
Do you think, Congresswoman, that the debate and discussion that we see on Capitol Hill, on college campuses throughout our country, about the American involvement in Israel and with Israel should change? I know you talk about, for example, that miscommunication from the White House, but do you think that that debate and conversation that's being carried out mostly on Capitol Hill, is it time for a change?
Oh, absolutely not. And I don't think that I'm actually confident the president is not even close to suggesting a change in the United States support for Israel. The United States, the U.S.-Israel relationship is ironclad. The president has repeatedly stated that. And because we have such a close relationship, it is critical that we be able to make sure that we have these kinds of communications one-on-one, side by side, and not have this debate play out so publicly because it leaves room for misunderstandings. Leaving the impression of possible daylight emboldens Hamas, risks emboldening Hamas, risks the possibility or even likelihood of it being less likely that we can get our hostages home, particularly our American hostages. We have to remember that Hamas is eager to sacrifice as many Palestinian lives as possible, and they want to maximize the civilian toll of this operation as part of their cowardly PR campaign. That's where they're coming from. They don't care about the loss of civilian life. And we need to make sure that we are precise in our communication and that we leave no possibility of misperception about daylight between us and Israel.
Congressman, I want to bring your focus back here to the United States. Have you been following Trump's trial in New York? Do you have any reaction to these last couple of weeks of testimony?
I've had a few other things to do, like making sure that we can pass significant legislation in Congress that unfortunately Republicans really don't seem interested in unless they're trying to protect household appliances. But I just think this is a sordid, disgusting mess that demonstrates that we have a choice in November between an extremist and between someone who has steadily guided our country towards an economic improvement, creating more jobs than any president has in modern times, making sure that we can reshore jobs through the CHIPS and Science Act, passing legislation that is the most significant investment in climate change. And we have a president on trial for paying hush money to a pornographic star to protect his own political reputation and to try to hide what he did in order to get elected. It's disgusting.
Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, it is always great to see you. I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me, as always.